Welcome to my virtual classroom.
Good day, teachers. Good day, everyone, and welcome to Ma'am Z's virtual classroom. Episode 8 is about the difference between intellectual and learning disability. There are some confusions between these two conditions, and in this vlog, we're going to try to clear them out. Let us begin. Is a neurological disability that greatly affects major functioning of an individual, such as communication, self-help, academic achievements, sensory and motor skills, memory, reasoning, and decision-making. Learning disabilities is confined to having difficulties in learning areas such as reading, writing, understanding, and visual processing. A person has sub-average intellectual functioning. That means an IQ score of below 70. For their IQ score is within the average range to above average. Since has sub-average intellectual functioning, it can be diagnosed earlier compared to those with learning disability. According to DSM-5, its criteria include deficit in intellectual functions such as reasoning, problem-solving, abstract thinking, and academic learning. Second, deficits in adaptive functioning such as difficulty in adapting to the environment. And third, the onset in childhood or adolescence. This means intellectual disability, which is also known as intellectual developmental disability, could be diagnosed before 18 years of age. People with disability are often found in the regular classroom and is later on diagnosed to have a difficulty in some subject areas. Their characteristics include poor reading, poor writing, poor comprehension, mathematical skills, inability to compose, complete, and organize written information, difficulty memorizing and retaining information, and having poor handwriting and spelling. However, one should not just jump to labeling a person to have learning disability. It is always advisable to have an expert check on the kid, and according to IDEA, 3 criteria should be present to determine the case of learning disability. 1 is severe discrepancy between the student's intellectual ability and academic achievement. That means this learner is in a regular classroom, is doing well in other subject areas, or is expected to do well in some subject areas, however, he or she fails to do so. Second is an exclusion criterion. This means the difficulties are not a result of other conditions such as intellectual disability or other sensory and physical impairments. Third, of course, is the need for special education services. Now let's talk about the types or classifications of both conditions. First, for IQ, the subtypes are based on IQ levels. So we have mild, moderate, severe, and then profound. Now for D, it depends on the areas of difficulty. Therefore, we have dyslexia, dysgraphia, dyscalculia, and other specific learning disabilities such as auditory processing disorder, language processing disorder, and nonverbal learning disabilities. Persons finds it difficult to perform usual tasks as compared to their typical peers. Difficulties include self-care, hygiene, academic achievements, and other interpersonal relationships. Those people who are enrolled in special education have functional curriculum to teach them how to make friends, take good care of themselves, to do transportation, and other functional skills. For L, they have no problems with daily life functions, but underachievement. So is it important to label kids? If labeling is done to bully somebody else, then it is never okay. But if you're going to do the label because of a diagnosis for treatment and educational strategies, then it is good to be done. Once early is done for cases of ID, Educational approach could include task analysis, active student response, systematic feedback, and direct and frequent measurement. For LD, it depends on the learning area of difficulty, but we can do direct daily measurement, response to intervention or RTI, for their assessment. Additionally, we could also include strategies such as note-taking, use of graphic organizers, and mnemonics. For more information, you can consult my co-authored book. Thank you for listening, and always be a blessing to one another.